Hey everyone, I have a question. Where in the Quran does it say to oppress women? Nowhere.
Okay, I'll take up your challenge. In the Quran, it reads that it's permissible to have female sex slaves, which would include girls. We could read this in Surah 424, among other scriptures. It reads, "Forbidden are married women, except female captive in your possession." What does that mean? Let's read the tafsir, which is an Islamic commentary on the Quran on Surah 424. It reads, "Save what your right hands own of captured slave girls, whom you may have sexual intercourse with, even if they should have spouses among the enemy camp." Something similar is written by the renowned Sunni commentator Ibn Kathir on Surah 424. He wrote that it is permitted for men to have sexual relations with captive women, even if they are married. Considering that no captive woman, especially a married captive woman, would willfully have relations with their captors, if the Muslim men had relations with them, what do we call that? And that's exactly what Muslims did to such women, according to Ibn Kathir. Muhammad permitted his companions to do it. Muhammad himself had sex slaves, namely Mariah and Rayana. Now let's move on to the next oppressive commandment towards women/girls in the Quran. In Surah 65:4, it reads, "It is permissible for men to not only marry prepubescent girls, but also consummate the marriage with prepubescent girls." It reads, "As for your women past the age of menstruation, in case you do not know, their waiting period is 3 months, and those who have not menstruated as well." The context of this verse is about informing Muslims to wait for a certain period before making the divorce final or deciding to forego it. The Quran commands men to wait about 3 months in the case of women/girls who are no longer menstruating or haven't yet started their menstrual cycles. Thus, Islam permits men to marry prepubescent girls. The reason for the waiting period is to guarantee that the wife who is about to be divorced is not pregnant, or if she is pregnant, to make sure that the true father is known. Surah 65:4 presupposes that Muslim men who are married to prepubescent girls have had intercourse with them. Otherwise, there wouldn't need to be a waiting period. This view is supported in Surah 33:49, which reads, "If a man divorces a woman he didn't touch, then there's no waiting period because there's no possibility of pregnancy." Just about every Muslim commentary on Surah 65:4 says it encompasses marrying and divorcing a female who has yet to have her menses, meaning prepubescent girls. Let's move on. There is the infamous Surah 434, which reads, "It is permissible for a husband to beat their wives." In regard to one's wife, if you fear desertion, admonish them and leave them alone in the sleeping places and beat them. This is in stark contrast to what the Bible reads on how one ought to treat their wife. For example, in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 25, it reads, "Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it." I don't know about you, but having sex slaves, violating prepubescent, and wife beating is pretty darn impressive to women and girls in my opinion.